Hello, welcome to the Brand Bravery podcast. I'm Amy Purdy, the Brand Explorer, and I am here to help inspire you to bravely overcome your challenges on your business journey by hearing how others have overcome theirs, pushing forward and taking the next step, whatever that needs to be at the time.
It's a brand new adventure for your business journey.
Racheal Straughan is the driving force behind Mayfli, an online marketplace, website and app where people can go and sell and buy amazing products created by and supplied by UK small businesses. Racheal is absolutely passionate about creating this marketplace so that it is ethical, so that it creates the most profit possible for those who sell on it, and so that the products that are sold on the marketplace are the very best that you're going to find in the UK. She wants people to be able to have an alternative to these other marketplaces that we all use and that we sometimes don't want to spend money on. So we can go to Mayfli and know that we're going to be spending our money wisely, we're going to be selling in a safe place. So she's really passionate about that. She's really passionate about supporting businesses right from the start of their journey and helping them to make a difference and help them to do wonderful things for their businesses. She is all about empowering UK businesses, rekindling community bonds and breathing life back into our high streets. So you already had another business and something went terribly wrong. So this seems like the logical place to start. Do you want to tell us about that?
Okay. So yeah, we've done print and embroidery for years. I can't remember how many years. I can't believe how long we've been going. So I had a print and embroidery business in the UK. And as most businesses started, we had full-time jobs and we started with business alongside that. And as that grew, we, moved out of our full-time jobs and moved into the business full-time. We'd always had a life dream of living in America. So we actually took our business over to the US as well. 95% of orders and that came through online marketplaces such as Etsy, eBay. We had websites, but we were so busy on the marketplaces, we just didn't push the websites, didn't push social media, didn't do any of that because we were just so busy with everything. And then one day Mark was in the US and he messaged me and said, oh, one of our shops has been suspended on Etsy. And I was like, right, okay, I don't know why, let's have a look into it. And it was a trademark infringement. I hate talking about trademark infringements because people think, you are doing Disney or something like that. But over in the US, there's a huge thing going on at the moment where companies are trademarking everyday sayings and words. So beach bride, boy mom, sweater weather, all these varied words and sayings are getting trademarked. So as a company that one of the shops did a lot of slogans, it was really hard to keep on top of what trend and slogan was going to get trademarked next. And we've been selling this one for ages. I think it was like Witch's Coven or something, because obviously we wanted to do the bridal theme around the Harry Potter, but you can't do Harry Potter. So I thought, let's do Witch's Coven, Witch's Bride, like it's a witchy theme, but you're staying safe. But somebody had actually trademarked it and we didn't realise because we'd been selling it for ages. And Etsy just said, let's reach out to them, which I did. She apologised. Obviously it'd been going a while then, she trademarked it and she withdrew the trademark. Etsy acknowledged it, but then said that they weren't going to reopen my shop. And because I owned two other shops, they were going to close that down. And then because I owned the company in the UK with 3 shops, they closed that down. So literally I had both companies closed down overnight and lost total income, really.
That's just horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So all of that has been the launch pad for what you do now, hasn't it?
Yes. So I'm banned from this platform for life. Mark wasn't. We could have restarted the business, not a problem. Were lessons, push for website, all the rest of it. But then I just said, do I really want to grow a business on a platform that could literally do that to us overnight? There's lots of stories going on at the moment about the reserves, other people losing their shops, having no say, the commission fees, just these marketplaces have, especially, the massive ones that have so much control over small businesses. And it's hard to sell, not to be on them. So this is what, I complained and Mark was like, well, do something about it. And I was like, okay, so this is where Mayfli came from. But a lot of the research that we did, we realized a lot of businesses didn't have their own websites. So a big part of our development was that Mayfli is not only a marketplace, people can have their private web shop with us as well. Because a lot of, especially the smaller businesses that are just starting off, don't have the money or the knowledge of building websites. So we wanted to give that, that little bit extra. I'm passionate about the high street shops as well. They're really suffering because of online. So we've got a shop local map, and we really want to support the whole of the independent businesses within the UK. So to us, it's like a all-in-one platform supporting online businesses and the shops on the high street.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's backtrack slightly, because you've spoken a little bit there about what Mayfli does and how brilliant it is, but we didn't actually get into what it actually is. So I think it would be really great if you told people that, because it is amazing. And I think, you're on this mission, aren't you, to make things so much better for small businesses. So people need to know about that. Tell us exactly what it is that Mayfli does.
Okay, so Mayfli is a marketplace, as in the similar to, the ones that you'd know as in Nottingham High Street, Etsy, all the rest of it. But we have values that we want to stay with. So we want to support independent businesses. A lot of people don't actually want to buy from Amazon and Etsy, but they don't have any choice because there isn't an alternative. So we want to grow Mayfli as an ethical alternative. But when I say ethical, I mean like business ethics on how small businesses are really treated. The money that is taken within Mayfli stays within the UK economy, and the businesses actually get more from each purchase made on Mayfli rather than selling through other platforms. Is that, yeah?
Which is brilliant, isn't it? And I think, I did this brand strategy for Mayfli a little while ago now, and did a competitor analysis, and it was really clear when I did that just how amazing Mayfli is for small businesses. Because I did used to have an Etsy shop, but I don't have one now. But other than that, that's a very small period of time when I had that. I didn't really know an awful lot about what actually happens behind the scenes, and how businesses are treated, and the challenges that are faced. And now it just seems there's been quite a lot in the news lately, hasn't there, about Etsy? Can we say that out loud?
I know, and it is, and it's such a shame, because back in the heyday, Etsy was a great platform when it really started off. It really was. It allows people to sell, throughout the world, and it was really good. But I think as it's like any big company wants to start growing, it's they need the support of the businesses when they start growing. But then as soon as the scales tip, it's like, oh, we don't need you, need us more than we need you. And that's when you see a difference in the behavior of how they treat the businesses. And you can see that, from very small business, from when they first started to now, it's them scales have definitely changed, and businesses need them more than they need us now. And it's just unfair. It's just unfair. So, and when you think of all the giant marketplaces that all, owned by USA companies, so there's a lot of money being lost within the UK economy. And I feel as if small businesses work harder for less now, because they've got to give so much of their profit up to just actually sell on these platforms, but it's impossible for them to have a business without being on there. So we definitely want to grow it where people can actually grow their business and make money from it.
Yeah, I think everybody wants that, don't they?
I know,
think it's such an amazing thing to do, to go from having that problem and realizing that other people had it and deciding to do something about it.
I know,
so
but we can't.
Why did you decide that you were the person for that? Was it just because Mark said that throwaway comment? It stuck.
I just feel as if a lot of maybe people just thought it just wasn't possible to do. And I know there's other platforms out there, but I really want it to be a platform that can expand. So my vision is so it is powerful enough to expand outside of the UK. So a lot of small businesses can't sell into Europe anymore because of Brexit and everything, and they really struggle doing it on their own. So my vision is for us to get to a point where we can actually start selling, allowing the sellers to start selling outside of the UK, and be that mechanism where they can actually start selling into Europe, but not have the headache of having to register into every country. We take that away, but making it as affordable as possible, because Mayfly is that platform that can expand to become another Etsy, but we want to become big enough to really support the businesses, but where it's still our values remain the same, as we want to connect them conscious buyers with independent businesses.
Yeah, it's just fantastic what you're doing, and I think it's amazing. And it's lovely as well seeing the Mayflyers in the group all being so enthusiastic about it as well. You've really brought people on the journey and given them hope, I think, and encouragement, haven't you, that it's going to work out and be better than where it was previously.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm not going anywhere. And it's just getting the support from the right people as well, and understanding that there are challenges out there, but you've just got to keep on going, and it's having the support of the small businesses community as well, because I can't do it on my own. The platform's here, and I need to grow it, but I can't do it on my own. And again, Etsy and all of them started off very small, and it was the businesses that supported them. So we need the support. It's like, we're here. Let's do this. Let's make a change. If we all come together and make it possible.
Yeah, and I love that you just said that about support, because I was literally just going to ask you about support, but a different sort of support. So you've got the support of the businesses who've signed up to Mayfly, which is brilliant. But obviously it's been quite a journey to create Mayfly and make it work from being a seller. So you'll have needed a lot of support on that journey, won't you? I know you've done all kinds of courses and things, haven't you, to like improve your knowledge of stuff and make everything better. Stuff, very vague. So how's that been?
It's been really good. It's I think anybody needs support when you're doing anything. So obviously we did the Ignite program at the beginning of the year, which was amazing. Having support of you and Racheal and Mark, from before, when the idea was just there, having like that support around you, and then reaching out to other people. When it all hit off about Etsy in the summer, Liz Barkley, the Small Business Commissioner, was very passionate about helping the small businesses, and just reaching out to her, having the support of her. And there's just so many people around that are willing to help, especially when they can see what kind of changes you really want to make, and the genuineness of it. I think anybody, having that support around you is definitely crucial.
Yes, it definitely is. And yeah, just having all those people, I feel like you've got a huge support network. And I'll see your posts and all these people will pop up talking about how wonderful it is having seen you at different places and seeing what you're doing. So I feel like I feel from the outside that looks like it's going really, really brilliantly.
It is, but then it's it's making sure that when the support that you're getting, to me, when people are supporting me, I want to ensure that I can try and support them back. I don't want to. I'm not the type of person where I feel as if I just want to take off people. It's okay. Thank you so much for your help. How can I help you? And I think that's how the world should be, really. And this is where Mayfly is coming from. Is it's about that circular mission of everybody helping each other, isn't it? And I think that's where we can all learn from, really.
Yes, that's a very Racheal thing. I feel like you do that really well, don't you? You've got your collaboration with Kind Currency Club, and all of the things that you do. That it is about supporting others, and like you run your markets and things. So you don't just do the marketplace. You're working on the ground stuff as well to help people where they're at, so that they can see,
like the events and the markets. And obviously I'm doing the networking with Michelle from Kind Currency. It's just it's nice to be around people. I think, especially because we did online for years and years, I was never really a part of the small business community. So I would never did the networking, I never did all of this. So coming into it with Mayfli, it is you. I think it can be lonely when you sell online and you're just on your own. And I don't think you actually realize that there is a business community out there. So reaching out to people saying, this is happening, or, this you can get for free. Because although we do training within Mayfli, we're trying to develop the training within Mayfli, there's so many other resources that businesses can get to that they don't know about. So to me, it's about sharing the knowledge that I know and saying, did you know these are doing this? And did you know this is happening? So it's just about sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, all about making things better for the small businesses that you work with.
Yeah, that's definitely.
You work hard to do that. So I think you've had lots of brave moments, haven't you, so far in this journey? And even going back to before Mayfli, when you did things like move to America and start shops in a different country, that's pretty brave. But and that's going to hold you in good stead when you get to that point that you were talking about earlier about selling abroad, because you'll know more about that, which is great. But then, actually starting Mayfli and starting these communities and meeting people and all of that stuff, it's just fantastic. What do you think has been the hardest part of your journey so far?
Visibility.
Sorry, say that again?
Visibility. I think for me, because honestly, before COVID, when COVID hit, obviously I started doing some workshops and, learning, because I love learning about business. I absolutely love business. I need to learn about this, I need to learn about that. So there's the workshops I went on, and it was literally, I keep on thinking how far back it is now. It was like 3 years, I think. And when I was on the workshops, it was camera off, mic off, and I'd like I say, when we did the print and embroidery, I never did social media, we never did networking. I'm very much an in-person person. I love to meet people in person. So I think this biggest challenge is having my photograph taken, put my photograph out there for people that I don't know to see. Doing videos, doing stuff like that. And I think the biggest challenge and the proudest moment so far was when we did the Ignite workshops. There was a big pitch at the end of it. So there was like investors there, people there from local councils. And I had to do a 3-minute pitch with a deck. Had to remember 3 minutes worth of words, which I really struggle with. And anyway, I'm getting older, my memory's not great. So that was a huge challenge. And I literally paced the beach for weeks and weeks. Mark was sick of us going over me pitch for constantly. So that was the biggest challenge, probably, getting in front of like over 100 people doing the pitch with the deck and everything. But yeah, it's just constantly challenging yourself and pushing yourself out your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's really interesting now, because I ask this question quite often, and visibility is nearly always the thing that people come back with. And I'd be sitting here thinking, oh, well, that must have been really hard, and doing this thing must have been really hard. It's fascinating that it's all to do with putting yourself out there is such a difficult thing, which I do relate to as well, very much
yes.
so.
I know. And I think when it comes to talking about other people's businesses, so all the businesses on Mayfli, I can talk about it and tell everybody how great they are. But I think when it comes to your own business and your own, it is that little bit. It's that bit more personal, isn't it? But no, definitely that.
It feels much harder. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because, talking about other people, it's sort of a bit further removed from yourself. But yeah, I find that too. It takes practice, doesn't it?
It does. And that, and it's constantly practicing, constantly pushing yourself across them barriers. You're working with people that can help you with that confidence and going past them barriers, getting that support and just not being alone. Again, having a great support, being able to talk to people. And I think what was nice about the Ignite program, that I think it was 10 or 12 of were pitching, and there was men on there as well and other women, and to be around other people saying that they were nervous, that they were struggling remembering their words, it brings it home that you're not the only one that's struggling, and a lot of people are always pushing. And I get so many people saying, you come across so confident, and as if it doesn't have, I'm absolutely petrified on the inside, but if it's something that you really want to do, I think you'll keep on pushing beyond them barriers.
Yeah, I think so. And you have a mission that is so much bigger than yourself, don't you, to really lean on
Yeah.
and make it worthwhile.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've got businesses on Mayfly that believe in Mayfly and believe what we're doing. So to me, I don't feel as if I have a choice, whereas I think if Mayfly, and I thought that's, if Mayfly was my business, then I probably wouldn't be pushing it as much and pushing me boundaries as much. But because I don't feel as if Mayfly is my business, it's a platform for all the businesses that are on with us, supporting us and believing in our mission and wanting to make a change. I don't feel as if I've got a choice. So now if I'm asked to do anything, I'll never say no. If it's to talk about Mayfly, if it's to talk about the businesses on Mayfly, I don't feel as if I have a choice to say no. Whereas if it was something personal to me, I probably would say no.
And that's brilliant. And that says so much, doesn't it, about how much you care about the Mayflyers. And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. So if you were to share some tips on how to have a really great business or to do brave things, what sort of things would you suggest?
Be yourself and be authentic. I think definitely, people buy from you. When I talk about Mayfly and the businesses, I think because I'm so genuine and just being yourself and being authentic, sticking to your values. With the values with Mayfly, it's all about support. You're trying to grow Mayfly organically. Sticking to your values. Don't feel as if you've got to change your values to fit in elsewhere. Especially with the platform that we're trying to grow, it is hard to try and grow it ethically, try and grow it without taking on investment. Trying to stick with your values, and pushing yourself out your comfort zone constantly. And I think you'll see that growth when you push yourself out of the comfort zone and speaking your truth. People want to hear from you, not what you think they want to hear. And I think when you see them great people that are really making changes, they're the ones that are speaking what they really feel. They're not trying to say things to try and win you over. They're saying this is how it has to be. So I think being authentic and sticking with your values and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I think they're all really, really important things. And I think, obviously I agree with values because that's something I talk about all the time. And knowing your values is really important. And I love what you were saying about it being really hard sometimes to do that, not because you don't believe in them, but because you believe in them and you don't want to veer away from them. And I think that's really important. And that's one of the things that really makes Mayfly stand out, isn't it? Which is why values are so important.
It is, yes. And even through this journey, we have, like, especially me, have struggles because I'm a bit of a person that likes to please everybody, and I don't like conflict. I don't like all of that. So, as a person that doesn't like to be conflict, it's hard not to stand your ground on your values when you don't want to go into heated discussions and stuff. But I think to make changes, you've really got to stick with your values. And if somebody isn't aligned with your value, then do you need them in your life? Do you need their support? Because you've got to stay true to who you are.
Absolutely. It's brilliant. So that's really good. I thought the thing about your comfort zone, and we already spoke about that a bit. I mean, I would feel so nervous doing that Ignite speaking thing. I remember you preparing for it and being quite nervous. I know you did brilliantly, but yeah, that would freak me out.
I struggle with words in any way, so trying to remember words, or when I'm reading, I'll add a word in or I'll miss words out. So to remember 3 minutes, have a pitch deck, and be in a room of over 100 people, and it was petrifying, but you just do it. You don't have a choice. If you're wanting to make changes and you're wanting to really do something, I don't think we have choices in, when things like that happen. You've constantly got to push forward. But no, it was definitely challenge. And yes, I would be petrified again if I was asked to do something similar. But it's once you've done it once, the more you do it, the easier it gets. So I've been asked a lot to go and talk at events about the journey with Mayfli, what we're doing. I've been asked to deliver workshops, and every time you turn up and you do it, it gets easier. So it's just breaking down that first wall, and then walls just get smaller and smaller as you're constantly coming up to them.
Yeah, brilliant. And yes, once you've done it once, even though you might not want to do it again, you know you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes a difference.
And you know, like, oh, that I did do that, and oh God, I didn't die. It wasn't horrendous. You know, yes, it wasn't 100% perfect. Maybe I stumbled on a few words, but then it's more authentic. You know, I think if you get up and you're so, you know, word for word and stood there rigid, and you know, whereas I think when you're coming across as a person, people are more invested in you because they can see your the genuineness and everything. So yeah.
Brilliant. Right, so before we wrap this up, obviously on Mayfli you have got some absolutely fantastic people selling amazing, beautiful things. So
Yeah.
do you want to tell us a little bit about the people who have come onto Mayfli and the kind of stuff that you have on there that people can come and buy?
So we have lots of different types of sellers in businesses. So we have got so many. We've got lots of jewelry sellers, from people making silver jewelry to people making sea glass jewelry and polymer clay jewelry. And we've got high-end furniture. So we've got an interior designer that brings in furniture that's trending and really high quality furniture. We've got photographers that photograph items and make them into your beautiful, you know, the sycamore gap, and you know, onto mugs and stuff. We've got artists that love lino print artists that are sea, all inspired by the sea, to artists that do lovely animals, and you know, just so much. Honestly, there is so much. Got people that do personalization, you know, on like ice cubes, and trying to think, there's just so much variation. And obviously we've got new businesses coming on constantly, so the choices is always going to be growing. We've got the shop local map, so if you want to find anybody local to you, you can find them. We've got Vicky, who does Meraki Cacao. She does handmade chocolate, and she was on the Hairy Bikers at the beginning of the year. Yeah, it's just a lot of variety. We've got essential oils, soaps, everything. There's just so much choice. I'm trying to remember all of the businesses of buy one. And there's workshops as well. So we've got the Sea Glass Company that offers sea glass safaris. Dia Wellness offers essential oils. So on Friday, I'm going to one of her workshops for the first time. We're going to be making our own blends of essential oils. There's just so much.
There is so much on there. And if you listen to this before Christmas, this is clearly the place to go if you want to shop ethically and support small businesses. Well, you've got a website, you also have an app as well, don't you?
We do. So we're on Google and we're on, is it Google Play and Apple Store? Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, the app is there. So it's so much easier if you've got the app already on your phone. You can just click into the app and just go shopping. If there's sellers in the businesses in there, and there's something similar that you want, just reach out to them. You can message them through Mayfli. There's a message system where you can get in touch with them. So it's so much easier to get in touch with the businesses directly. And if there's something that you want bespoke, I'm sure they would help you if they can. And if not, they might know a local business that can give you something that you need.
Yeah, fantastic. So we've got the app, go to the app, get the app. If people want to go and visit Mayfli as a website, you want to tell them what the URL is, so it will be in the show notes as well, so people can go find
so it's www.mayfli, which is mayfli.co.
Brilliant. And obviously, if anyone has a small business and they want to sell their beautiful things on Mayfli, they can just get in touch with you on there as well.
Yeah, or
Which
they
I
can
would
go to the
recommend.
website and put in an application form in. So we are application based. But yeah, put an application in and we can go from there. The more support that we get from the businesses, the larger we can grow and the larger impact we can make. There's so many people that you hear now that really don't want to be buying from Amazon if they feel as if they don't have a choice anymore. So we definitely want to be that platform that can really help, help those people that really want to support local.
Definitely. I absolutely love that. I want to ask you another question. I wish I'd asked this earlier before we got to this sort of wrapping up part. But creating an app, I've never created an app. How does that work?
Oh, ask Mark.
Is it hard?
No, don't ask me. No, we have got a team of developers and Mark, and very much the IT. I basically told Mark how I want it to be, because I think as a seller, I got frustrated because a lot of the stuff that we sold had like a lot of option choices. So when we had our own website, we could set it up. But when you're selling on platforms like Etsy and stuff, you're very limited to the option choices. So there's a lot of things that frustrated us as a seller that I wanted Mayfli to have. So Mark just got this huge list of it has to have all this, because this is what frustrated me as a seller. And he did that. And we've got a great team of developers. Yeah, so I suppose it's another, I don't know how long we've got, but there was like when you look at Dragon's Den and they go on about, oh, you don't own the tech and stuff like that, and can people that don't have a tech background grow a tech business? And I think sometimes it takes that non-tech person and tech person to come together to make something really different. So when it comes to the tech side, that's definitely Mark's side and the amazing team that we've got behind her as well. I just tell them what I want.
But isn't that great as well, that you don't have to do this all by yourself, but you've got Mark and you've got this team and you've got all these people around to support you? Because I think running a business, it is really important not to do the whole thing on your own. Even if you are, like me, I could be on my own, but I still have people around to help me. But you've got quite a vast selection of people, and that must really, really help.
I think for the tech side of it as well, because obviously, like, it's a huge platform. Like I say, it's got the possibility to grow outside of the UK. It can grow globally. So the potential that it is quite a powerful tool. So having that support around the tech side, knowing that we've got that 24/7 security, just knowing that side of it's okay, because that's a side that I'm quite limited on. I know how I want it designed. I know what facilities we need, like the booking system. We knew the booking system for the workshops we wanted to bring in, but we didn't want to bring it in from the very beginning because the costs around it. But we had a few sellers that wanted it. So just bringing on them and having the support and knowing that we've got a team that can ensure that everything runs smoothly is helpful. And then I can just concentrate on the side that I love doing, which is supporting the businesses and shouting out about the businesses and telling everybody what great products we have. And that's the side that I enjoy. Whereas the other side, I just tell them what I want.
Yeah, someone else can do that.
Someone else can do that, yeah.
And it's so clear that is the part that you love, because you do absolutely love shouting about all the businesses on Mayfli and letting everyone know just how amazing the products that you've got on there are.
I think that's just why I love doing the in-person events. Although I find it stressful because I want everybody to do well on the day as in sales. So I find that really stressful. I kind of go and hiding by the afternoon because you want to just ensure that everybody's had an amazing day in sales. But that's what I love about the events, because when you're buying online, it's so impersonal. You don't get to know the businesses. And when the businesses come on to Mayfli, I have conversations with them before they come on. We get to know them within the group. So I know what their products are like. I know the people, and to be able to get people to come in and actually connect with the businesses is just so nice, rather than it just being all online. And it was nice this year because we had, for the Christmas one, we had people that came last year and we're looking forward to coming back this year to meet them businesses again. And they were
Yeah.
having conversations. I was like, oh, I was here last year and I got this, and looking at their new products. And it's just so nice to have that in-person side of it as well.
Definitely. I think you have quite I don't think it's hard to get onto Mayfly, but I think to get onto Mayfly, you do have to get to know them a bit first, don't you? Which is a really lovely part of it, that you get to know their business and you're able to give them advice so that they can perform even better
I
on
mean,
Mayfly.
we do get applications where we haven't been able to take people on, just maybe for their product photography or different things. But I always ensure that when, they might not be the right fit for us at the moment, but giving them tips to go away and improve and saying, come back to it. I think product photography is a huge one for being online businesses, having that. But even if they're not the right fit for us now, it's giving them tips to go away and improve, and then hopefully come back and reapply. We've been getting business applications from outside of the UK, people in Australia, which unfortunately we can't take on at the moment, but hopefully there's so many other countries that are striving to have a marketplace like Mayfly, but we're just not there at the moment to have that side of it. So at the minute it is just UK, but when we're getting applications from outside of the UK, you say, right, okay, we're definitely doing something right.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Bravery podcast. Check out the show notes for all the links and information you need, including links to my social media and my website, so you can let me know what you thought of this episode. Please share with anyone else who you think would enjoy this. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next episode.